what are some of those innovative practices and technologies that you're most excited about in the coming years, even with Regal Resilience and Infuse moving forward?
I think it's AI, it's fintech, it's Web3, but I think a lot of when I get onto these conversations sometimes, and like I was invited into a Twitter space to speak to Web3, and I'm no Web3, like I get it, but and Regal Resilience Network is more like Web0. It's Web 2.5. We're still in fiat. We're still in money. They call it fiat. We're not using tokenomics. Or even though the fintech platform has a ledger, so there's a wallet that makes it seamless for payments to go out, but we're Web0 because we reopen the web because too much of the digital economy is locked into like Facebook and LinkedIn or whatever. But I think it's AI, it's anything in finance, it's anything in Web3. But what I tell people in Web3, because they get too caught up in acronyms and the tech itself, and it's hard because we're tech founders, so we want to, whether you're naturally technical or not, over time you become almost like a hybrid where you're lethal enough to understand the technical side if you're not from that background, and then you're on the business side. But
I know enough to be dangerous. I like
it. Exactly. But then what happens, and we're hybrids, that's not common. You're either or. I would say us three, we're probably like the hybrids. We know both, right? Even though we didn't come from that background, but we understand it and we can vision into it. But that's like an anomaly. That's actually, you're usually either more business or just all technical. But I try to remind, especially the younger generation that's utilizing this Web3, that does have a lot of potentials, not to get too caught up in the tech, because the tech is just the bridge. And I've had to remind myself of that over and over again as well. Nobody cares about, everyday humans don't care about the technology. The technology is just behind the scenes. They care about what's in it for them through the customer journey. How can it make?
I always say you gotta sell it, baby.
You have to
buy it.
You have to sell it. And now it's not even about customer centric. It's about life centricity. The world right now is like, we're in an election year. People are like struggling to pay their bills, working 4 or 5 jobs in the US.
What is it solving? What is the problem?
Yeah, what is it solving, and how are we meeting the pain point of the customer and understanding that they can change that mind tomorrow like this because they have to make a choice because inflation or whatever else. So I feel like for them, I'm like, you can innovate more with humanizing, like humanization is actually where you're going to innovate. And that's always going to be your competitive moat. And the tech is always just going to be the bridge. So we can geek out on how do we create a path with the tech, but we have to remember we're still wired to be human. So I think with them, I'm always educating to say less about how cool the tech is. And it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, because everyday humans don't get the acronyms. They just need to know, how is this going to help me with X? And then later on, they'll learn about it a little bit more. But if you're just basing it on how amazing the tech is, even with Regal Resilience, I don't like talking about the tech that much because it doesn't matter. All we have to show people and give them a taste of is that money can circulate.
Yeah. That's what they're, and to be able to have an authentic, safe space to talk about, where they need help circulating that and getting that going for themselves.
But to your point, that has nothing to do with the tech.
Right.
The tech is just like the byproduct, like you said, like, okay, well, that's great, like an extra thing. Once it comes, it'll be like a no-brainer to use it because
and the tech just allows me to bridge it internationally, like long term, like to take something that would happen at an event and be able to multiply that at scale over time.